This is why you're fat and why doctors and personal trainers are just stooges of the food industrial complex, and it has nothing to do with calories or activity levels, and it never has. So for this, let's have an imaginary person. His name's Bob. Bob is 300 pounds and wants to lose body fat. Okay, what is the most recommended way for losing body fat? Count calories and increase activity, exercise and diet and exercise. Okay, what happens if you take an overweight person and you put them on a diet and exercise plan? Well, if they're under consuming calories, so they're now eating less than their BMR, so if you're a 300-pound person, it's going to be around 3,000. It's not exact, but it's pretty fucking close. So you're going to have them eat, like, let's say 2,500 calories, and you're going to increase their activity levels. What is this going to do to the human body? Well, for starters, the reduction of calories is going to lead to a few side effects, namely cortisol increase. You're going to get stressed out. You're going to be more likely to retain body fat. In addition to this, it's going to slow the brain down. Why does it slow the brain down? Well, the body is not particularly concerned about losing body fat. It is concerned about maintaining homeostasis. What's homeostasis? It's just existence. It just wants to fucking exist. So now you have put it in a situation where its surroundings have changed. It is getting less calories. So now it needs to maintain homeostasis any way it can. You'd assume it would burn body fat, but that's fucking stupid. It's trying to maintain the body fat, hence increasing cortisol levels in order to retain the fat. What does it do instead? It slows your brain down because your brain consumes a lot of fucking energy. So it slows your brain down, lowers your IQ, makes you dumb. Also, what does it do? It makes you shake less, makes you twitch less, shiver less, gesticulate with your hands less, makes you less likely to get up and do anything, but just lowering your overall energy levels. But now you're going to exercise on top of this. What happens when you take a fat person and you have them exercise? They get super fucking hungry. Why do they get super hungry? Well, you'd think because they're exercising, they'd be burning body fat. They're fucking not. They literally cannot burn body fat. Why can't they burn body fat? Well, in order to burn body fat, you need to bring your insulin down and you need to bring your glucagon up. What is insulin? Insulin is the hormone in your blood responsible for transporting sugars. In an overweight person, they are always insulin resistant. What does this mean? It means that over time, because their fat cells keep enlarging and fat cells have insulin inside of them, blood then needs to have more insulin in the bloodstream in order to effectively move sugars in and out. What does this do though? Well, it essentially means that if you are an overweight person and you are eating anything, your body has to over-secrete insulin. So even if you were eating healthy all of a sudden, your body is still going to secrete insulin like you are eating a fucking cake every time you eat because there is no other way for it to move energy. And as your sugar levels come down, what happens? You get super fucking hungry because you still have insulin in your blood causing you to get hypoglycemic. What are the symptoms of hypoglycemia? Lightheaded, nausea, makes you really hungry, pretty much makes you cranky. But more importantly, it makes you super hungry because it has you go and eat food because your body needs carbohydrates because it cannot effectively run your entire fucking body on body fat because you still have insulin in your blood, which is preventing glucagon production, which is preventing ketone production, which is preventing you from using your fat for fucking energy. In addition to all of this, we are not going to leave out the epigenetic factor. What is epigenetics? Well, epigenetics is just how your body responds to the environment around it by either upregulating or downregulating certain protein productions. It does this through messenger RNA, also known as mRNA. It is just the blueprints that hang out in your cells that tell it to build shit. So if you are increasing ghrelin production consistently, you are upregulating ghrelin production, which means you are literally making your body better at making you hungry. In the same way you're upregulating cortisol production, you're making your body better at retaining fat. You are literally altering your DNA. Well, not really your DNA, but you're altering your fucking genotype in order to stay fat. Eventually, the brain can no longer take it, and then you break and you cheat on your diet. You overconsume calories. It brings cortisol levels down, brings anxiety down. It makes your body relax, and then you stop going on the fucking diet. But because you have been reducing calories for a long period of time, your metabolism's fucked up now. It's super low and you overeat, and now you will regain more weight than you had ever lost. That is why diet and exercise has a success rate of less than 0.05%. That's fucking stupid, but some personal trainers are smarter than that. They understand that you don't want to do that. You want to actually increase caloric consumption if you're going to be exercising. So they'll have you increase calories by about 500, but then they'll have you eat a lot of protein. They're going to have you increase protein consumption because they know that's actually good for weight loss. And they're fucking stupid. So what are the protein consumptions for a 300-pound man? Well, it's kind of all over the board because everyone's a fucking idiot. The correct answer is about 1.5 grams to 1.8 grams per kilogram of body weight. But you'll see it as all the way as high as 1 gram per pound of body weight, which is very convenient if you're trying to sell people a bunch of fucking protein shakes. Anyways, so you have a 300-pound man who is now increasing protein intake while trying to lose weight. So that's going to be about 300 grams of protein. All right, what is 300 grams of protein said another way? 2 entire fucking chickens. You have someone with an an overconsumption problem and your solution is to have them eat 2 fucking chickens a day. And that's just the chicken. That's not even talking about the fat or the carbohydrates that you're also going to have them eating, especially if they're working out, because you need to refuel carbohydrates and fats, and you need fats for building muscle anyways. Okay, so you can split this up into multiple meals, which is what a lot of personal trainers do because they're trying to keep you anabolic. They want you to grow muscle, which is cool, but it's stupid, especially for a fat person. But okay, let's grow that muscle, right? Let's eat 5 times a day. Let's spike your insulin 5 times a day. Constantly. So you're going to stay in a state of constant hunger because the foods you're eating are not calorically filling, because they can't be. Because if you're eating 5 times a day, you can't be eating carbohydrate dense foods that are going to fill up your energy stores. But instead, they'll be like, oh, you can eat as much of these leafy greens, as much of this broccoli, as much of this asparagus, as much of these vegetables as you want, in addition to the lean meats you are eating. So now what you're doing is you're taking an overweight person, having them eat a bunch of calorie non-dense food and stretch out their stomachs. Stretch out their stomachs. Why do people get stomach staples? Do they get it because they want to have a bigger stomach or a smaller stomach? They want it because if you have a smaller stomach, your satiety centers get hit sooner and you eat less. When you're eating in this manner and you're shoving 2 fucking chickens down your gullet every goddamn day, your stomach's going to stretch out. Your satiety centers are going to get stretched out. And then when you stop that diet, you will now have the ability to eat more fucking food than you ever have in your entire goddamn life. Not to mention the fact that the fat loss you're going to accrue during that's going to be minimal, and your weight is going to go up at the start. So when you have someone who is just starting to try and diet and lose weight, you're going to increase their fucking body weight by having them gain muscle mass and say, well, muscle weighs more than fat. It burns calories more than that. Not a fucking lot, dipshits. If you go and Google how many calories does 1 pound of muscle burn, the top Google result is literally misinformation. It's just fucking wrong because some dumbass was quoting some shit and now that's the top Google result. How much calories does 1 pound of muscle actually burn? About 6 calories per fucking day, meaning if you gain 10 pounds of muscle mass, you'll burn an additional 60 calories of energy per day. And if you are trying to lose weight and you are a 300-pound person, that will result in about an increase of 2% in your daily caloric expenditure. But on top of that, it's just going to make you hungry. Your body's going to compensate because back to the homeostasis, your body is taking into account the fact that it has this muscle mass, so it will make you equally proportionally hungry. It'll make you want to eat one more French fry. Spoiler, that's what it's going to do. It's not going to make you magically burn body fat. That's fucking stupid. In addition to this, you still have that same individual who's now exercising and getting hungrier because a large person moving costs so much fucking energy. So yeah, he'll burn through that extra 500 calories you're giving him, but then he'll still be in a massive caloric deficit, which will still lead to the same cortisol spikes and the same brain slowing down effects that you saw in the other fucking diet methods. But in this one, this real fucking stupid one, they can sell you shit. They can sell you protein powders. They can sell you meal plans, meal kits, all that shit. And then when you fail this one, they can blame it on you because you didn't grind hard enough. You didn't want it hard enough because they're fucking morons, most of which are on literal drugs. Literally, they're just taking drugs, and that's why they look that way. But yeah, they're going to blame it on you. They're going to blame it on you. And then when you explode afterwards, because you've now taken an obese person, stretched out their stomachs, and lowered their metabolism, they're going to get super fucking fat. Fuck those people and fuck trainers who recommend shit like that. I could go into ketogenic diets. I can go into carnivore. I can go to vegan. I can talk about any fucking diet and explain to you why it's all dog shit. But at the end of the day, guys, it's just capitalism. It's just capitalism. There will never be a weight loss solution that does not require you to consume. That's it. That's the end all be all. There will never be a solution that does not require you handing over your money for something, whether it's special foods, Atkins branded food, protein shakes, protein powders, protein bars, protein this, protein that. Protein, by the way, being the most expensive of the macronutrients. So yeah, they're going to want to sell you a lot of that shit. It's just capitalism. All of the research that is done into fat loss at every university all around the fucking planet is just funded by food industries. Okay? And occasionally, yeah, you'll have a study and it'll show do X, Y, and Z and you'll burn body fat. But at the end of the day, that also forgets that you're an animal. You're an animal in an environment, and your environment is the entire planet. It is everything around you. And you cannot take an animal and then try and get it to lose weight by some shit you did in a fucking lab, because no one lives in a lab. No one lives in a lab. I deeply, deeply, deeply hate the health and fitness space. They are really, really stupid people. Every fat loss and fitness strategy you will ever hear about in the long term causes the population to not only get dumber, but consume more on average. And if you live in a capitalist society, there is nothing better than a population that's stupid and just shoveling 2 chickens down their throat every fucking day.